Guys, this is Jen Frost with Faith and Fabric. Welcome to the station. I am here today because I got some happy mail that I'm excited to share with you. It's something I thought we could do a little unboxing together with. Now, you guys know I'm already very into free motion quilting. We've been running our Free Motion Friday series now for about 11 weeks. And what's in here is a really fun tool that's going to give us a chance to practice our free motion quilting without even using a sewing machine. You ready to check it out? Let's head over to the table and we'll unbox together. A few days ago, this package came from my friend Kim in Canada, and I have been having it sit here on my counter waiting to open it with you guys. So let's go ahead and see what's inside. It's a line design. So this is actually a really cool free motion tool. What's included are these wooden planks. That's what's in here. And you put these wooden planks together to make a free motion tool that you use with your marker and a practice pad to be able to practice. Now, like you guys, you probably use things like this. These are my current practice pads, which you see are just full of very messy practice. And I'm constantly making new ones and I'm constantly wasting fabric. The whole point of this line design tool is you practice your drawing using the pen and you move this clear plastic underneath just like you would your fabric. And instead of wasting fabric, you just wipe it off when you're done. So let's go ahead and put this together. Now this is quite large, so it's probably not gonna all fit in the camera, but we're gonna give it a try. So when this was packaged, the intent is every piece of this is reusable, which I think was so smart on Kim's part. So you'll see this large clear plastic is actually a plastic you can put a large piece of paper in and even use this in the line design tool to practice drawing on, because since this is plastic, you can just wipe this off. It's just so smart. So I'm gonna open this up here and let it crinkle for a second. And you can see here are our line design pieces. So let's put this together here. We'll see if we can figure this out. So here's part of the panels. Now the intent of this is it's raw wood, and it's really cool because you can actually paint this and decorate it yourself. Kim has some really cute tutorials on her website on how to do that. So here's the main central piece. And these little guys pop in on the sides like this. So they slide in, you'll see, just perfectly easy. It's kind of like little puzzle pieces. And then you can use the little binder clips to attach it securely. So you'll see here, and look at the cute little tape on there. Can you guys see that? Oh my gosh, it's just adorable. So it's already decorated. Of course, you can always paint yours. Like I said, she's got some really neat designs that you can put together. So with these, you just snap the little clip on. And what that's gonna do is really secure these pieces and hold them in place. So I'm gonna put one on the top, one on the bottom here, and then we'll come over to this side and we'll attach the same thing. We'll put one on the top and one on the bottom. And they just slip on. And what this is doing is it's holding these pieces together so they're not moving at all. Move one left here and put that on. Now you'll see they came attached on this little green piece of felt. And again, no waste. This can be your felt that you're gonna wipe down your practice pads on. Again, your practice pads are now gonna be plastic, so there's no waste there. And now these are the two end pieces. So you could just take your end pieces and you'll see those will slot right in, like so. Oops. Get this one on. This is quite wide to get in the camera. I don't think we'll fit the whole thing, but we'll be able to set it up so you can see how this works. Okay, so there's our inline design. And now we have our pen and we're going to attach here. So here's the little sticky part. So you're just going to pull that off and attach that on here. So there's a nice flat surface. You can stick that on. And now it comes with the pen. Now you can use any color pen you have. Mine came with the green. And then you're just going to adjust that for wherever, whatever level you'll need. So you'll see I have my, my clear practice here. Actually, you know what we'll do is we'll put the brown paper in just so we have something to practice on. Now I love this because if this was a quilt, you know, I can put my quilt block in here and I can actually practice right on my quilt block, which I think is just brilliant because you can really move this around now and get a design for that quilt block. So let's pretend that this is my big quilt block here. I'm gonna go ahead and stick my pen in here. And let's start drawing. Okay, so I've got my little motion, and you can see as I move this around, I'm just meandering. And this is just like it would be if it was on my sewing machine. And you can see I'm making my little meander shape no different. And this is great, you guys, because what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be building up your muscle memory, and muscle memory is so important. So if I pull this out from underneath, you'll see I've got now a very just basic meandering design, and I can get a real feel for what that feels like before I head over to my machine, and before I have to continue wasting tons of practice pads like this. Let's do another example. So this time we're gonna try quilting directly on a block. Now, when I say directly, I mean on the block itself, which is very safely tucked inside this clear plastic envelope. So I've switched to a black marker, a dry erase marker, obviously, not a Sharpie, but just for a chance that you can kind of see how it's going to work. So my idea for this one is I'm just gonna kind of make some outline loops, and we'll be able to see how that looks on this quilt block. So let's go ahead and try that out. So we'll loop, we'll push that down a little bit more and try that one again. There we go. So you can see this is just like on my machine. In the same little hand motions, I tend to always cut my loops short on my machine. I do the same thing on here, which means that this is actually really good practice to stop doing that, right? So we'll keep coming up. And what I like about this is you really get a feel for how your design is gonna look on your block before you move over to your machine. Now again, the friction is always gonna be slightly different. You're never gonna be able to get an exact one for one. You know, like the surface, for example, that I'm moving on right here, this is definitely causing more friction than I'm used to because I do sew normally on a slow, steady mat. So it's a little bit harder for me to push and navigate with the plastic here. But I think if I were to bring my slow, steady mat over here and put it underneath, that would eliminate a lot of that friction, and I wouldn't be having, it wouldn't be quite as challenging to move it as it is now. But you can see this really gives me a really nice idea now of how my quilt block would look with that pattern on it. So we'll finish that off. You can see now if I move this out of the way, there's a very rough design of how this block would look with that design on it. And it gives you that same muscle memory. You'll see I was able to practice the design in the exact same pattern in the same way that I would have done it right at my machine. Again, without having to resort to using practice pad after practice pad after practice pad, which if yours are like mine, they probably start to, gum up the machine. I know when I start getting into areas like this that are so thick, it has trouble even sewing through it. So this is a really, really great alternative. Let's try one more scenario. Okay, so this time I wanted to try something. I actually went and I put my slow, steady glider down. Now this is the same mat that I always put on my machine when I'm doing my free motion quilting because again, it just completely reduces that friction. Now it's having a little bit of trouble sticking, you'll see, because my granite is actually porous. It's not smooth metal like my machine is. So the little grippers that are on the bottom of this have nothing to super stick to, but we're gonna give it a try and see if it helps just make this a little smoother. So I put a new block in here and we're gonna go ahead and draw on this one. For this one, I'm just gonna kind of make a little bit more of a basic shape. But oh my gosh, yes. Okay, look, you can see how much easier that is. So we'll come through, we'll come back up. Maybe we'll make a little loop here and a loop around. Come back down this way. Make a loop. Now see, look at this is just so much easier now. It just slides no problem, just like it would if you were on the machine. And you can even see, you can practice your hand positioning here. How close away from your needle do you want to be? How far away from your needle do you want to be? And there you go, you've got a perfect design here. Actually I had the green marker on here and not the black one, so it's probably a little bit harder for you to see. But again, this has given me a chance to really see, do I like the design that I've tried out on my block? Do I not like the design? And you can see it right on your block. A nice thing too is if you have a variety of these colors, I'll stick a link down in the comments. You can even almost use this as like a thread test. Because if you're using, for example, this mint green, which I was thinking would play off really well off some of this green in here, I can say, I like that green. I think it does work well. Or You know what, that green really stands out too much on the white. So this actually gives you a chance to kind of practice with some thread play too. This is a really, really neat tool. So there's my happy mail for the day. So I wanted you to be able to see back here, here's actually the line design tool as it opens up. Now it's about 30 inches wide and about 10 inches deep, roughly 5 inches on either side of the actual tool itself. However, you're definitely gonna want more than just 10 inches in depth because you're gonna wanna be able to move your practice pad around a lot, especially if you're using that larger practice pad, that larger plastic that everything came in. But what's really nice is, as you saw, this breaks down to the size of a small envelope, so you can very easily put this away when you're done using it. Obviously, if you have a large quilting space, this is a tool that you can keep up. I'm probably going to keep it up on a little side table I have over here, just so I have a chance before I go over to do our Free Motion Fridays to give a chance to see, how does the design work, how does the design flow, what is that muscle memory that you really want to create? Because once you get used to that muscle memory of, okay, this is how the design works on this tool, it'll be very, very seamless to move it over to your machine. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I think this is a really neat tool. It's kind of one of those game changers, right? Because you are no longer wasting fabric, you are no longer wasting thread, you are no longer wasting batting that you're gonna be practicing on. You have something that's completely reusable, supporting a small business, which I think is wonderful. And it gives you that chance to actually practice your thread colors directly on the blocks that you're gonna be sewing on, which there's nothing comparable to that. So good luck with your sewing. I'll drop a link in the comments below to where you can find a copy of this tool. Totally new. Kim actually has some classes coming up that she'll be teaching. Obviously, I'll be probably incorporating this to a few of our Free Motion Friday classes too. So, you'll start to see a little bit of this tool in use on Fridays, which I think will be a lot of fun just to kind of, practice here before we move over to the machine. So thank you for joining me today. If you got anything good out of this video, a like would be awesome. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.